in strawberry collecting time of year so by way, but immigrant labor in brief delivery in several countries, we see at the different micro-robots creature advanced about the planet to assist producers harvesting the largest famous harvest. Following period you buy berry get a see a nice see in the punnet. Do the berries yet include the stalk assigned or has it been plucked off outgoing just the verdant hat of foliage named the cup? You may not believe how matters, but he's a key review for growers as they ponder the being of a band of robot prototypes how pledged to choose berry as quick and as thoroughly as humans. If the fruit is plucked or if the stem is snipped via and stored assigned is one crucial distinction among the concepts how Spanish, Belgium, UK and US engineering personnel are prepared to coil out in fields as quickly as following year. Harvest gentle harvest automatically represents an enormous problem, every fruit as necessary to be arranged, though if he's over a sheet, evaluated for maturity and later collected and packaged in huge thoroughness to escape beating. But latter developments in visible probe technique, car training and independent traction include driven the purpose during achieve. If you can put a man on the Luna you can get a car to choose a strawberry, says Tom Kuhn, founding member of Octanion, a Belgian-based begin-up conduct a definitive stage of box testing the summer in association in growers in the UK and mainland Europe. Present we can say we include a robot arm how is competition in a humane in regulation of cost and rate, he says. Octanion's arm is installed on a personality driving cart. It reaches up of under or, with 3D sight, grips a mature fruit among two soft plasticity paws. The grip later turns the harvest by 90 degrees to click it off its stem, imitating the method a humane collector would utilize. The prototyping is collecting one strawberry each 4 seconds, says Mr. Kuhn, and depending on the variety, will gather among 70% and 100% of the mature harvest, results how he says do it competition in humane pickers. The fruit is leftward in just the cup, that is the way Europe consumer are used to purchase their berries. We don't trust in cut, he says. Stalks hazard beating some berries in the punnet, he argues. But Cambridge-based begin-up Fang is take a various attitude. Founders Duncan Robertson and Ed Herbert include fair refundable of Australia wherever they've been test a collector how delivers berries in a centimetre or so of stock yet assigned, the way UK retailers choose, since it extends shelf lifetime. Fang is careful on giver off to a lot on how its robotic plant, but love Octanion it is relying about robot weapon installed on a portable plate. It uses machine sight to identification mature harvest and car training to develop effective collecting strategies. Following collecting, the robotic grades berries to define their amount and quality assurance, and places them immediately in punnets. Fang as well prides himself in work about the as necessary and present practices of UK growers. So time Octanion's car will just job on harvest grown up on grown platforms, normally in polytunnels. Fangs will choose conventional UK varieties in the box. Receiving robot experience will be a big request, so I don't wish to ask growers to drag out current infrastructure facilities to supporting our robotic, says Mr. Robertson. We're hard to reinvent the wheel an essential portion of how gentle harvest is grown up, not reinvent the wheel the entire item. Micro-robots can work at all times of the day or overnight. Harvest for the chillier overnight several hours can sharply extend shelf lifetime and escape beating. But developers emphasize the motive is not to substitute immigrant labor in more profitable, more than effective micro-robots. In reality, he's not proof lightweight to copy the standards how humane pickers supply. Strawberry farmers say they are more fighting to discover human beings to do the job. They requirement the micro-robots. In the UK, the drop in the importance of full next the EU plebiscite voice has done it more hard to hire across the sea workers. UK countrymen appear unwilling to do such a constructively intensive job. In the US, growers say they had to let harvest rot in the fields. More rigid migration rules, a growth in the minimal wages, and a shrinking childbirth bet in Mexico, include all intended down their fare aren't the workers accessible to harvesting them. so producers will include to scope up robot collecting if they are to pull through, lot claim. Agrobot, constructed by Spanish businessman Juan Bravo, should be commercially accessible in California following year. And in Florida, the harvesting crew, led by ex-Intel engineering Bob Pitzer, is as well shut to start. Both of these are a lot greater rather than the robot weapon creature advanced by Fang and Octinian. Both of boasting truck-like vehicles covering several rows of seedling in weapon how achieve downward to place and choose harvest. Every agrobot arm grabs a stem and snips, transport the harvest off by its stalk to minimize harm. The harvesting crew, computerized robot streamlined obtainer, uses paddles to collect up the factory's foliage to subject the harvest. Rotary grippers later understand and click the berries off the stem. Americans, love largest Europeans, are used to stemless harvest. More than technique of industry. Mr. Pitzer says 2/3 of the nation's strawberry manufacture is supporting the go-to mechanization. Growers promote and pay a lot of cash. A nice collector can do $30, 22 pounds, and time in Florida. In California he's $50 and time, he says. But they yet can't hire quite workers. Human beings love to say if you pay them more then they do the work, but he's fair not real. We aware in next how labor win to be accessible.